Hey everybody, it's Peter. First, Happy New Year. It's now 2018, and tonight's Wednesday, which means time for Marvel's Runaways, Episode 8, Tsunami. So, again, another full hour episode. It would take me almost an hour just to go through, but then I'm basically telling you the story. Again, this is a review and a recap, kind of spoilerish, not really. But I'm just going to try and keep it to the main plot points because, again, lots of stuff is going on. So this is where we're picking up now. And everybody starts showing up. So the episode's called Tsunami because that's the secret code word that the Pride folks use amongst themselves if something really big's going on. In this case, Richter being shot. We find out, too, that Richter actually is key into the secret Uber Pride plan that Jonah has going on. As the episode goes on, basically everybody starts showing up. Each one of the parents is showing up at each time because they all got, the secret code word. First is Nico's parents, and it's Alex's parents. Then it's, but they don't call Leslie at the very end because she's associated with Jonah. So everybody else is trying to fix it because they know Jonah's going to be mad. So we're going to try and solve this whole thing ourselves. I think the last parents that show up are Gert's parents. We're also jumping back and forth too because Alex and Nico are still talking about where's the secret password come from. So Alex is going to tell in flashback form what happened with Amy, Nico's sister, the accident, and they said it was a suicide, but we're finding out as the story progresses that there's something sinister going on we don't know, and even up until the end of the episode 2, we're doing the flashback. They're about to show maybe what happened with Amy, but that's cut there, and that's where the episode ends up. But until we get to that point, like I said, basically it's the Pride parents trying to fix what happened. They find out, oh, Richter got shot. Who shot? Janice shot. Okay, what's going on? Okay, we got to do something. We got to stabilize the wound, bring everybody on board. And then when Gert's parents finally shows up, when the Yorks, when they show up, well, you guys are doctors. Well, we took med school, but we're actually biologists, not really doctors. Meanwhile, with the runaway gang, Chase is still freaking out because his dad got shot, and then he gets pushed out of the room. Says, no, you the grown-ups are going to take care of this. You go away. He's trying to get a hold of everybody. Gert's still stressing out about that Molly got sent away last episode to a relative. We don't know who the relative is, but she is a friend of Molly's parents. She has her little side story about finding out what happened with her parents through a series of events, one of them being the person she's staying with gives her an envelope that has a key inside of it. It's a key to a locker at a train station. While she's doing that, gang is like, Chase is freaking out. He calls Gert, can't get a hold of Gert because Gert's hiding out in the lab with the dinosaur. Trying to just like, I'm going to hang out with you because everything is going super freaky right now. I need somewhere to call and focus. And then I'm not sure why she left her phone behind. Like kids nowadays without their phone in their pocket, that's really weird too. But I guess it builds up on the drama that, well, we can't get a hold of so-and-so. So Chase is just trying to call everybody. He's like, Gert, pick up. My dad got shot. I'm freaking out. I need somebody to hang out with. He gets a hold of Carolina and says, shit's going down at my house. Can you come over? Carolina finally gets a hold of Gert. Gert says, okay, I'll come pick you up. I'll drive you over. Meanwhile, all the time, too, is still Nico and Alex. Nico's really pissed at Alex because Alex said he knew what happened with the sister. He didn't still say what happened to the sister. So it's through a series of flashbacks. What's going on? Apparently, Alex and Amy used to hang out together playing, video games, and something was wrong with her computer. Alex tells Amy there's a key mapper on a computer, and then it's actually related somehow to the wizard files. And so maybe Amy already knew something was up, and also what's pissing off Nico that her mother knew all this time that other things are going on, and she's totally out of the loop. So she's mad at Alex for not telling her. Getting more mad at her mother for not finding out about it. It's my sister. Come on. You're supposed to tell me these things. And we still don't know until the very end of the episode what really happened with Amy. While the parents are trying to figure out what to do with Richter, they actually do get him patched up bit with the York's help, just using stuff around the house kind of thing to try to stitch up his wound. And Frank finally shows up. Leslie overheard a conversation with Carolina trying to get a hold of Gert to tell her what's going on. Said, oh, and that was a funny thing too. As soon as she was listening to the door at the daughter's house. Next thing you know, in the next scene, she's at the house, at the Stein's house all of a sudden. Like, boom, why didn't you tell me? And I thought, that's the fastest drive across L.A. probably in the history of driving in L.A. Somehow she got a hold of Frank. Frank shows up. He's got the magic gloves. Okay, you guys are screwing up. I'm going to put hands on and I'm going to help Richter. That doesn't work. Of course, that's when Tina, Nico's mom, calls up Jonah, and he shows up out of the blue and says, okay, that's it. You guys screwed up. And he pulls this box out of the trunk, and it's only like, looks like a box, something you would get box of roses, that kind of, like, not that very big. Clickety click barber trick. It turns into the transference box. And I said, okay, so they're going to put Victor in the one box, but again, we need a victim. Who? Are we going to get a kid to do this? No. One of you guys messed up. You're going to go in the box, and we're going to do the energy transference that way. And they basically point the finger at Janet. One, because Janet had an affair with Robert, I guess, and Janet shot Victor, and Victor is crucial to Jonah's grand plan. And then there's a whole exchange of like, well, can I say goodbye to my son? And then Robert says, like, and he's still smitten with Janet. Oh, I have to say goodbye to her. Give me 2 minutes with her. Okay. And he says, well, you got to go say goodbye to Chase. And then everybody else is standing there. It's like, no, you can't say goodbye. And then in a switcheroo, Robert shows up in nothing but his underwear. And he's got the Fisticon glove and says, okay, I'm going to sacrifice myself. And it's just like, what? And then before he gets to go and do his thing, they said, okay, we got to put somebody in the box. Jonah's just like, we got to put somebody in the box. We got to save Victor. I don't care who one of you guys it is. So Robert's going to go in. And then Tina turns around. She's packing the wand. She zaps the second box, so Robert can't get in. And it's like, well, that's great. What are we going to do now? And Jonah's like, okay, you idiots, I've got this. They actually still close up the box with Victor inside of it. The guys pick it up and they take it off camera. We don't know where it's going to go, but somehow they have the ability that maybe they can stabilize Victor enough for the next part of the evil plan that Jonah has going on, that we still don't know what this evil plan is. Then finally, Alex calls everybody up because his laptop finally decrypted the wizard files that they picked up a couple episodes ago. Also, all this time, too, Chase is still flipping about, well, my father got shot. He was cool. Now he's not. What's going on? Teen angst and all that good stuff. So then everybody, and just before they all meet at the coffee shop, we do cut to Molly at the train station. And it's a VHS tape. And, of course, because, she's a teen or tween. She's probably, yeah, I think she's a tween. She's not old enough. And I don't think any of these kids are old enough. It's a VHS tape. So she's just like, what do I do with this? Is there supposed to be something inside it? Because even, DVDs and Blu-rays are foreign to kids. They're all digital downloads and streaming, and, everything's totally, online stuff. So she's left with that. We don't know what she's going to do with the videotape. Alex did watch the footage, the downloaded files from Wizard. He was going to show Nico, but he said some pretty freaky stuff. I don't know if you want to see it, and we don't know if it was involving her sister or not. And then when the gang finally shows up, all of a sudden the gang has got mixed feelings. Well, do we put out the video to incriminate our parents? And Alex, Nico are like, yeah. Gert's kind of like, yeah. Carolina's like, well, I don't know. I talked to my dad earlier when he did come to the house and says, and Frank was still under the impression of, oh, no, these guys are just a charity and Pride does these wonderful things. Carolina does say to Frank, oh, I'm going to tell you what's going on. And then we cut. So I'm assuming that she told her dad what the heck's going on. And then Frank said, yeah. I'll help you kids. We don't know what kind of help it is, but she tells it to the gang at the last act. And then Chase is also like, no, because if we do this, I want to bond with my messed up father, even though he used to beat me as a kid and whatever. Well, we bonded there a couple episodes ago. He's not a bad man. And then he finally grabs the laptop away from Alex. He smashes on the ground, puts it on his foot, and everybody's like, what the heck? Also in between that, with some of the flashbacking going on, because her room's always been closed off to her by her mother. She said, well, when they found her, she was missing stuff. So, hey, wait a minute, she always carries a backpack with her. Or she wouldn't commit suicide. She'd actually be a runaway. She would grab her things and take off. So what happens is Nico does double back to her house, checks out her sister's room, does find her old backpack that was somewhere stuck behind the bed, finds the old cell phone. Of course, cell phone's out of juice. So she plugs it back in and waits to see what happens, and then goes back to Alex and says, okay, I found the phone. We're charging the phone. There was a laptop involved too, but we only see it in the flashback. I don't know whatever happened to the laptop. Maybe somebody grabbed Amy's laptop, and that's why maybe there was information on there too. Maybe Amy was already doing the same thing what the gang is doing now. We don't know. Again, we're going to have to wait. So we're left with Victor's in the portable coffin. Jonah says he can fix them. We don't know how. We've now got a broken laptop with incriminating evidence that because Chase doesn't want his dad, so it's really a mixed bag, but it's just a total wow. And then we finally flash back in the last 2 seconds, going back to Amy, that she gets a phone message, and I didn't catch who it was from, saying, well, you better get out of there. And then she's packing up her stuff in her room, and then somebody comes in the room, we don't know who. The camera is like the person of whoever the stranger is. It could be Jonah. We don't know who the intruder is in a room. And then we cut, commercial, run the credits. That's it. Next week. Wow. So I'm enjoying it. I'm just like, yeah, this is really interesting. It's drawing me in. But yeah, another great episode. Who else is still watching Runaways? I'm not getting a lot of feedback on the Runaways. I'm getting more feedback on my other videos, but I know there's still lots of people doing reviews, so I'm assuming it is being watched on the Hulus. But what are you guys thinking about this? You're liking it? You're not liking it too? Are you liking or not liking my stuff? Remember, thumbs up, thumbs down, hit subscribe, notification bell, and see you in the next one.